Hey everybody, welcome to our channel Living in Richmond, Virginia, where we show you exactly what it's like to live, work, eat, and play right here in RVA. 2023 is almost over, and all I can say is, what a year. In this video, I'm going to tell you what's going on in the current Richmond real estate market, and I'm going to give you my predictions for 2024. While this won't be as visually entertaining as most of our other videos, it will be informative, and I'll tell you what's going on based on what I have seen firsthand. I sold just under $30 million in real estate this year, and the vast majority of that was working directly with buyers, so I have a really good pulse on the market. And my predictions for 2024 are going to be based on trends that I've seen over and over again these past few years. So, barring anything crazy or extreme happening in the world, my predictions are usually pretty accurate. In our Selling RVA episode from January of 2023, we made a few predictions then too. Our last prediction is that there's no market crash, unless one or both of these two things occur. First, if interest rates hit the high 7s or above, that will definitely soften the market. Well, as you know, in October and November 2023, rates did just that, and the market came to a crawl. I told Sarah that I wasn't sure if I should enjoy the slowdown and catch my breath, or if it was time to freak out. And Sarah told me, why not do both? It was painful for potential home buyers during that time, and honestly, it continues to be. I was routinely seeing loan estimates with mortgage payments above $4,000 and $5,000 a month. At the same time, I also saw a lot more price drops occurring too. Now, sometimes the problem is the price, but it isn't always. The elephant in the room really was the high interest rates and the lack of affordability. These higher rates priced out so many would-be home buyers from the market. Or in other words, the high rates affected the demand side of the supply-demand equation. The potential buyer pool that remained usually fit one of a few things. A buyer who would have a large down payment for their next home after they sold their current one. Interest rates have less of an effect on you when you keep your loan balance small. Buyers with phenomenal income were also still in the market, but they were going to be very selective on what home they bought. And that makes sense. If I was signing myself up for a $4,000 to $5,000 a month mortgage payment, I better love the house, not just like it. Most of the homes that were doing price drops fit the category of that. They were likable, but not necessarily lovable to potential buyers. And lastly, the other buyers remaining were all cash buyers who weren't deterred by the high rates.
You must be the Monopoly guy. Hey.
It was crazy. The week that rates hit 8% for the second time, we had 3 different all-cash clients reach out to us. And the others that were reaching out during that time would all be very cash-heavy after they sold their current home. During the fourth quarter of 2023, we were able to get a ton of contingent offers accepted. And that's because in a seller's eye, a contingent offer is better than no offer at all. On the other side of the same coin, rates were affecting supply too. Most of the people who currently own a home are sitting on an interest rate of 4% or less. These homeowners need a compelling reason to leave that interest rate because doing so would be painful to their monthly budget. As rates continued to climb, some homeowners were priced out of the market entirely, taking away the option to move because they couldn't afford what their new monthly payment would be on their next home. Time and time again, we learned that most of the sellers of the homes that our clients were buying were experiencing a major life event that made them need to sell: marriage, birth, death, divorce, or relocation. And almost all of our listings this year fit that bill too. In early December, we had a townhome listing that had 3 bedrooms, and the sellers were expecting another baby soon, and they were already busting out of the seams of their current home. They didn't love the idea of leaving their current monthly payment, but they needed a home with 4 bedrooms and more space. Even with the diminished buyer and seller pool, Richmond has a very seasonal market, and we've seen the same trends over and over. Usually, inventory will continue to slowly increase throughout the summer and fall, and then reverse course right around Thanksgiving. Most homeowners don't want to deal with packing, showings, moving during the holidays, and that's exactly where we are at and exactly what I'm seeing right now. New listing activity has drastically decreased these past few weeks and probably won't pick back up again until early spring. At the same time, rates have backed off their highs, and as of the time of writing this, they are in the high 6s right now. While that isn't exactly great, it beats the pants off of the high 7s and low 8s. Personally, I've had 3 different clients reach out to me this week that were priced out due to the rates and are now re-entering the market since the rates have cooled some. I also know that I'm not the only agent that is having that happen. As rates continue to drop, more and more buyers will be re-entering the market. So, here are my predictions for 2024. All things indicate that rates will continue to drop, which will cause buyers to come back into the fold. This is of course happening at a time in the market where new listing activity is slower and total inventory is dropping. I expect total inventory to continue to drop through the spring, which is exactly what happened in 21, 22, and 23. I don't think it will immediately become competitive again though. Current inventory levels are only slightly higher than they were this time last year, but rates are higher than they were this time last year. So inventory levels will need to decrease further before competition flares back up. My gut is that multiple offers will make their way back sometime around the end of February or beginning of March, and probably continue through to the end of May. May and June tend to be the turning point, and even throughout the craziness of the COVID real estate market, when rates were in the 3s and the 4s, the summer has always been the least competitive time to buy. New listing activity outpaces buyer demand. Year after year, the summertime has been the closest thing to a normal, healthy market. This softer seasonal market continues through the early fall, and then the tides turn again, holidays hit, and it's rinse and repeat, up and down the roller coaster. In the years before 2020, which we all know what happened then, the Richmond market would usually see a peak inventory level of over 5,000 homes actively for sale in the summertime. In 2023, the inventory peak was just under 2,900 homes, and it's currently sitting today around 2,600 and dropping. So it will take a while to get back to a normal inventory level, but I am hopeful that in 2025, we should see something a little bit more stable. So here's what I think you should do with this information, and that is do what makes sense for you financially. I see so many other realtors posting about how now is the best time to buy, or posting things that shame renters, like saying, yes, interest rates are high, but remember, rent is 100% interest, or things like marry the house and date the rate. That aggravates me. I hate seeing that, and it's transparent that they are just desperate for a sale. Please don't let fear or FOMO dictate your decision making. You shouldn't do anything that will put you in an uncomfortable financial situation. Don't stretch yourself thin just to buy a home with the hopes that rates will drop and you can refinance in the future to a lower payment that you can actually afford. What if they don't? You need to take the risk of that into account. And yes, it is a far less competitive real estate market right now than it was in the past, but competitiveness is only one variable to consider regarding if you should buy or not. The most important factor is, can you comfortably afford your new monthly payment? If your potential mortgage payment eats up most of your take-home pay, leaving you with very little at the end of the month, but your current lease or rental payment is much cheaper and leaves you with lots of money at the end of the month, then it makes sense to continue to rent. And while renting is not the best option long-term, neither is being house poor. If it is within your means to buy a home and do so comfortably, now is a good time and you will probably get a deal. But if it's not the right time for you, that's okay. There are plenty of other things you can do to help you win with money and get ahead. Continue to save, continue to pay down debt, continue to invest in retirement. And if you aren't currently doing any of those three things, then I beg you to start practicing those three things before you buy a home. Home ownership isn't cheap, and there will be maintenance and upkeep expenses that you need to have free cash flow to take care of these things with. And if that statement upsets you, where you think to yourself that it's too hard to save, pay down debt, or save for retirement right now, then I assure you buying a home isn't the right decision for you at this time. And if you're worried about missing out on the currently softer real estate market going on right now, do remember that the summertime tends to be less competitive too. But at the end of the day, it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. And you need to be able to afford your monthly payment to give you that time in the market. A lender will always give you enough rope to hang yourself with. So make wise decisions that make sense for you and where you're currently at in life. In 2024, we've got some great videos coming up, and we're planning on starting the year with an updated How Much Do Homes Cost in Richmond video. Plus, once it's a little prettier out, we'll do our neighborhood tours and fun things to do videos again. So be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home here in RVA, be sure to hit me up. I have the knowledge and expertise to help make your move as stress-free and easy as possible. Plus, I'm currently ranked number 35 out of over 4,600 agents, and there is a reason for that. I really appreciate your support of our business, and thank you for being here with me today. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye.